rain, and unfortunately, there was a tough week last week. There was the draw, and then the ugly loss at Portland, and we have news regarding that loss at Portland. But we'll go into what happened with the past week in terms of actual match play with the Reign. May 19th versus the Orlando Pride. The Pride sitting at the top of the NWSL table, so the second time in as many home games that the Reign have played a top team in the league, and I think the last 3 home games they've played top teams in the league with. We'll double check that with Orlando, Kansas City, and then San Diego. So there was Orlando here. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Yeah, Orlando, Kansas City, and San Diego. All teams who sit atop the NWSL table. I think all 3 of them. Washington's back in there now, I believe. Apologies. We'll get standings here. I want to be sure. I always want to be sure. Yeah, Washington's in there. Oh, wait, the Wave are not. Ooh, wait, I was wrong. The Wave are not a top team. They just have some talent. So anyway, the last 2 home games you've played, you played the 2 top teams in the league, and then this upcoming week you'll play Washington, who's sitting at 3rd, and then the match after that you play Kansas City, who's a 2nd again. So tough. The Reign lose May 19th versus the Pride, a 2-3 loss. Our player of the match, Jess Fishlock. Fishlock, an 8.1 match rating, 1 assist, 3 shots, 87% passing percentage, 3 chances created on the day, and 11 passes into the final third. This was a tough match. Orlando just has so much attacking talent. Barbara Banda is at the top of that list and is one of the best players in the world at the moment. And the Pride were able to get 2 goals unanswered to begin this match in the first half. Unanswered, just some uncharacteristic defensive mistakes for the Reign, just kind of sloppy. Head coach Laura Harvey continues to use the word quality when talking about what this team has been lacking, and you kind of see that with some of those mistakes that we've seen from the Reign in these losses like this. So that occurred right before halftime. Angharad James Turner, nicknamed Haz, was able to get a goal right before the half off a deflection. That goes in, and you cut the lead in half. 2 goals is often regarded as the easiest lead to blow in soccer. And so the Reign go into the half just down by a goal and with some momentum. We go into the second half. In the 48th minute, Bethany Balser scores to even things up on a great assist from Jess Fishlock. But unfortunately, Barbara Banda gets her 2nd in response to that, and the Reign are not able to get a response goal, a 3rd goal in the match to tie this thing up, and it results in a loss. Just frustrating, considering it really, at least in the last few matches, it really has felt like the Reign have been on the doorstep to changing things around. Obviously, you tie the current. You lose to Portland, but that match was close till late until that penalty that we'll talk about in a minute with team-related news was called, and then they kind of just add on there. It does feel like the Reign are just sort of, a little push away from changing the momentum and really pushing themselves over the line to get some of these results, whether it's into wins or even just draws, helping them move up in the standings. But they're just lacking that right now, and I mean, there is some time to be able to pull out from that, but it's not going to be an easy one, and especially as we continue the weeks on, and there's still an inability to push themselves forward. So we've got a few sort of notes from that win, though. In the loss. So against the Pride, Phoebe McClernand reached 50 regular season games played. And then with just Fishlock, with that assist on Bethany Balser's goal, Fishlock it's her 27th regular season assist of all time, which is the most assists in club history, standing alone with those 27. So impressive there. We look at the injury report versus the Pride. Same 3 that have been out for the last few matches, pardon me. Goalkeeper Claudia Dickey out with a knee injury. Forward Jordan Heidem out with a back injury. And midfielder Quinn, they are out with that knee injury. After the loss to the Pride, it was interesting to see with the stadium cleared out and after we had gotten back from the post-match press conferences, that a bunch of the players who were unavailable for selection and who were on the bench were getting in sort of a scrimmage and a practice of sorts. Jordan Heidem was there getting in work. Dickey and Quinn were not present for this one. Even asking Laura Harvey post-match, hearing from her some injury updates. Jordan Heidem is the closest. She's been on the field practicing with the team. Claudia Dickey and Quinn are not practicing with the team and are a little bit farther off from Heidema. So, interesting to hear that from Harvey. And, with seeing that practice and scrimmage, you know, she wasn't wrong. So we've got that. We'll go into team-related news. On the 18th, it was pro referees admitted to an error in their weekly review of VAR calls from the prior match day. So we'll go back into it. We'll set the scene for you. In the 75th minute, the Reign were trailing Portland by the 1 goal. Late into this, it's a big rivalry match, and they're trying to get back into it. Portland forward Peyton Linehan had the ball within the Seattle box, and Sofia Huerta was doing her job defending. Linehan attempted to get a shot off, and replays showed that the ball ricocheted off of Sofia's foot before striking her in the arm. Linehan went for a handball call, but play continued on as it was waved off. As the referee Abdou Nadaye said that Sofia Huerta's arm was in a natural position, and the Reign recovered the ball and headed towards midfield. So you avoid that. You're still down by a goal, and then you're trying to go ahead and get that goal back. VAR official Adore Monroy and AVAR Kaylee Terry reviewed the incident, as VAR did review that match. Reviewed it and then did give the handball to the penalty to Portland. Reviewed the incident as play continued and did decide that Huerta's arm was away from her body and thus created a barrier, and requested that Nadaye stopped play to initiate a review. After calling Nadaye over to the screen, they confirmed that there was no offside in the build-up to this incident, and proceeded to show him several angles to demonstrate that Huerta's arm was outstretched. In one point, so they put these videos out, right? Pro does when they review these things. At one point in the review, Nadaye can be heard questioning the decision to review the play, asking, "Doesn't the ball touch her foot first?" To which Monroy responds, "I do not have the ball touching her foot first," even though if you look at the clip, it shows exactly that happening, which is pretty maddening. Ultimately, Nadaye was convinced to call the penalty and issue a caution to Huerta, and then head coach Laura Harvey received a caution for dissent, as Sofia Huerta scored that penalty kick, and then the Thorns went on to add on and win that match. So obviously that penalty changes a lot. In pro's estimation, not only was Sofia Huerta's arm in a justifiable position given the body movement, but the ball did, in fact, deflect off of her foot first and change direction before striking her arm, meaning that a penalty should not have been called. So not only, as I've said a third time now, was that call incorrect, but the folks who were reviewing it in the moment and then had the head official who got the call right initially wrong in reviewing it. But, this just changes the outcome of a match, because, if the play doesn't stop, the Reign were coming back for a counterattack, and they're down by 1 at this point. They can still tie it and even get another goal and go ahead if they're able to score. This is big. This can change seasons. Maybe a big win in Portland is what the Reign would have needed to get moving forward. Instead, incompetency from those running VAR and AVAR, makes this match, and then pro's estimation, there's just no consequence for this currently. They get to learn that I almost said a bad word. They get to learn that the call was messed up, but there's nothing that can be done at this point. There's no point in telling them at the end of it. So it's obviously really frustrating, as you can hear me get really excited about it. But there's nothing that can be done now, and outside of knowing that you've been cheated. So, sorry, very, very animated. Anyway, there is another piece of team news coming on Monday the 20th. Forward Emery Adames has been named to the U.S. Youth National Team U20 May training camp roster ahead of the matches that they'll play against the Korea Republic on May 31st and June 3rd. So congratulations to Emery for that. Obviously a very talented young player that we've seen some great potential from. Even in the loss to Orlando, there was a ball, I believe, just at the edge of the box that Adames had some space for and got a shot off. Just unfortunately wasn't able to get an accurate hit on it. It doesn't end up mattering. But no, Adames has shown great speed and has shown that she can be a game wrecker. And when she's able to kind of tighten some things up, it'll be really exciting to see what she's able to accomplish, with the team. So looking ahead, the Reign have a 2-win, 7-loss, 1-draw record. They're sitting at 13th in the NWSL table, just 1 spot ahead of the last spot in the table with 7 standings points. Looking ahead, their next match on the road, May 24th at the Washington Spirit. That's a 4:30 p.m. kickoff time. It will be broadcast on NWSL Plus and Kong. Obviously, with any of the road games, whether it's the Mariners, the Storm, the Sounders, in terms of teams that are actively playing in the rain, you want to head to our home, home of Circling Seattle Sports, that is Rough and Tumble Pub over in Ballard. Whether it's the excellent service, the great food, or obviously playing all of these games to support our Seattle teams, there just really isn't a better place for you to watch these matches. So it's going to be a tough match for the Reign. I mean, again, as I mentioned, the Spirit, since the Reign last saw Washington, which was the opening match when the Reign got the first win of the season, the Spirit now sit at 3rd place in the NWSL table with 21 points, 3 points behind Orlando, 1 point behind the Current, as Washington has a 7-win, 3-loss, 0-draw record. So not going to be easy, but, you got to start the turnaround somewhere. So.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Jen.
Hey. Where are you going to watch all the away games for Seattle Reign FC this year?
Away games? Well, since Rough and Tumble is the home of Circling Seattle Sports, I was thinking of coming here if that's okay with you.
I think that makes a lot of sense. See y'all here.